Like politics and religion, it spurs a lot of questions and debate. Biggest question is, where's the proof? Hi, I'm Ken DaCosta. I'm co-host of the Paranormal Channel's Dead Air. And for the next half hour, we're going to be bringing you clips of evidence submitted by investigators and from the viewing public. Ultimately, you decide. Are these clips proof of the supernatural, or are they something else? So, sit back, stay objective, keep an open mind as we bring you these paranormal reveals.
Able to actually document what appears to be feet, the shadows of feet marching across the floor. My name is Christy J. Parrish, and I'm the event coordinator and ghost tour manager for the Oliver Estate in Middleborough, Massachusetts. Our paranormal reveal takes place in the upstairs closet inside the Peter Oliver Jr. room of the Oliver House. The Oliver House was constructed as a wedding gift in 1769 for Dr. Peter Oliver Jr. and his young bride, Sally Hutchinson. It was commissioned by his father, Judge Peter Oliver. The house took 2 years to complete, and after its completion, Peter and Sally moved in 1770, right after their wedding. They had several children in the house, and also many occurrences with the Sons of Liberty, which makes the Oliver House an incredible staple in American history. In 2017, a group of investigators were in the Oliver House investigating occurrences that had been reported by other visitors of footsteps and voices. And we took some time to go to the Peter Oliver Jr. room, where the sounds seemed to resonate from through the floor, the footsteps. We introduced a 3D imaging system at the time to hopefully document what we were hearing to give it physical presence. While we were recording on the mapping system, we were hearing the sound of footsteps that were approaching, but we could not see anything. So quickly the camera system was flipped over into the 3D mode, and we were able to actually document what appears to be feet, the shadows of feet marching across the floor that's in a closet. And we flipped the switch real quick to show that there's absolutely nothing inside that. Actually played back what we had recorded in that very space during that investigation. Myself, Chris, Paul, the others that were inside the space with us at the time literally could not speak. It was just the most beautiful moment, almost to the point that we almost cried with happiness, because we finally did it. We proved that there's a little bit more to this house than what meets the eye. So who are these mysterious footsteps? We can't be for certain at this time. We have a lot of theories, and we interact with a lot of energies there in that space. One thing that it has done for us, and what it will continue to do, is it keeps pushing us to keep searching and keep trying to understand all the things that are happening at the estate. And there are so many inside and out. Our plans are to continue to develop our tech and try to eventually, without any question at all, definitively prove this other dimension of existence. Why is it at the Oliver Estate? Because they call it home. It's a true paranormal gem.
The reactions were kind of varied from what the heck happened to holy moly, what the hell just happened? I'm Don DiCristofaro, co-founder of the Greater Boston Paranormal Associates, We manage the paranormal events aboard USS Salem, and my paranormal reveal takes place in the hospital of USS Salem in Quincy, Massachusetts. The USS Salem is a former United States Navy heavy cruiser. She was in service for a very short period of time, only 10 years. But in that period of time, she saw a lot of activity, no battle, no combat, but she saw a number of accidents. There was quite a bit of death aboard the ship. In 1953, an earthquake in Greece that took the lives of somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 people who were being treated for injuries aboard the ship. Some gunnery accidents on other ships that took the lives of somewhere between 12 and 20 sailors. So the Salem has seen a lot of death. She was brought back to Quincy, where she was built in 1993, and we have been giving tours aboard Salem since about 2010. Particular night, we were doing a public investigation, and in some of those cases, we're very fortunate in that we have some excellent investigators who don't have a big enough group maybe to rent the ship, but who come to public investigations, and it's always a pleasure to have those folks aboard. In this particular case, we're talking about Silence Paranormal and Crystal Lee, who I believe is the founder of that group, who actually took this video in the hospital. The ship is one of the more active areas, and in this particular clip, what we've done is we've set up indicators pretty much all over the room, which is kind of standard for what we do. We've started to get a lot of reaction from cat balls. We've started to get a lot of yes and no kind of interaction using those little toys. So in this clip, what you're going to see is a cat ball and a K2 meter on one of the bunks in the hospital. And the timing is ideal, in which we're talking and we're asking questions, and at some point you see this cat ball start to rock a little bit, and then it falls off the rack. It was not right on the edge, so it shouldn't have fallen off, and it's not as though the rack was hit or anything like that. I think it's a great example of how to use kind of a simple tool and how to get great results. You know, it's a situation where everyone who's in the room, everyone's not really in a position to see exactly what happened. So the reactions were kind of varied from what the heck happened to holy moly, what the hell just happened? When something physically moves like that, needless to say, it's really the best kind of interaction you can get. And the reactions from everybody in the room were pretty amazed. As I said, for using a kind of a simple toy, it's amazing when you get reactions or interactions that just blow you away like that. The wonderful thing about something like this is it provides validation for something that we've kind of known for quite some time. The hospital is one of the more active areas of the ship, but as of late, we've come to realize that there are more specific areas and there are more specific entities in the hospital than we previously thought. So we're going to spend a little more time in the hospital now. We're going to spend a little more time down in that corner. We go in there anyway as part of our tours, as part of our investigations. We're going to spend a little more time down there because now we know that something that we've kind of thought before is a reality.
We were reviewing the audio recording, and I heard my wife ask the question I knew she asked. We were shocked when we heard how clear this EVP was, the Class A. I'm Tony Rathman. I'm the founder of Entity Voices Paranormal Investigations, located in Phoenix, Arizona. My paranormal reveal consists of EVPs captured at the old Phelps Dodge Hospital, known as the Copper Canyon Paranormal Research Center today. The Phelps Dodge Hospital was constructed in 1919 and was built specifically by the New Cornelia Mining Company to take care of the miners and their families. There were hundreds of accidents that occurred during the mining operations, from cave-ins, landslides, train wrecks, all sorts of other disasters that occurred. The EVPI team decided to visit the old Phelps Dodge Hospital this night. We had a free night. There were no bookings at the hospital. That's the time that we get to go and investigate. We were up on the second floor of the hospital, down on the east end of the hallway. My wife and I were standing just outside the x-ray room when Cherie decided to ask, "Are there any spirits here? Can you say hello?"
Can you say hello?
The EVP that was returned was a male voice saying, "Ha, I do, I do." When we were reviewing the audio recording, and I heard my wife ask the question I knew she asked, we were shocked when we heard how clear this EVP was. The Class A, the ha, first of all, that he gave an expression to what we were asking. And then clearly, I do, I do. We were amazed at what had come across on the recording.
Can you say hello?
This next clip is also from the Phelps Dodge Hospital. One of my partners of the Entity Voices team and I were walking down the first floor hallway. Chris asked, "Can you tell me who you are?"
Can you tell us who you are?
And the EVP that came back clearly said, "Who I am?" When we were reviewing this clip and playing back the audio recording, it was so funny to hear the response that was given. Chris had clearly asked, "Tell me who you are," and to have a spirit respond and say, "Who I am," in a question like, "Why do you want to know? Why are you asking?" We were fascinated by it.
Can you tell us who you are?
One of the reasons we love investigating the old Phelps Dodge Hospital is that every time we go, we pick up new voices. Don't know if there's a portal in the building, don't know if there are just lots of spirits that come and go from the place. But these were two new voices we had not heard before in both clips. So of course, it compels us to go back, to continue to reach out to find if we can get them to communicate again, if we can get them to reach back out, or if they can give names that we can do research to find out who they were. Did they exist in the last 100 years? And were those names being able to be located in documents?
Occurred several times. I was thinking, this is really odd. The house was empty. There was nobody in it that might be playing with a light switch. My name's Julie DeMay. I am with Horizon Paranormal, and I am a videographer for the group. And my paranormal reveal takes place at a private residence in Weston, Massachusetts. Our group was brought into this residence to check out potential activity that the owners had experienced. They had just recently purchased this house, and they wanted us to come in to see if we experienced anything they had experienced. And it was a very interesting investigation. Well, our one investigation began with myself, Nancy, and Wendy going into the basement to see if we could see any activity or experience any activity there. As soon as we went to the basement, we walked by this one room that was under construction. There was some construction lights they had hung up. And we just, they were on, and we just said, "Oh, can you turn the lights off?" They went off, which is quite surprising, and we were all laughing about it because
I don't know. I could say on or off. Is it really? Let me see. Little trapdoor. Oh, okay.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
Right here,
hi.
see? Yeah, lights off. The light.
And so we said, okay, can you turn the lights back on? And they went on again.
Are you trying to turn that back on? Did you try it? Well, I'll come a little bit closer if that's okay. We're just inquisitive, and you must be inquisitive as us.
And I said, that was really, really weird. So we said, okay. So we ended up moving up or out of the room and away from it. And we said, okay, can you do it again? And the lights changed again.
We're gonna walk over here. Maybe you can do that one more time for us.
Yeah, we'll watch from the distance. Can you flicker the light bulb or just turn it off? Thank you.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
So after this occurred several times, I was thinking, this is really odd. The house was empty. There was nobody in it that might be playing with a light switch. It was under construction. It was empty. It was cold. There was nobody around, which made it even more unlikely for this to occur.
Evidently not. I don't know. I could say on or off. What? Is it really?
Let me see.
Little trapdoor.
Oh, okay. Oh, here.
Yeah,
Right here,
hi.
see?
Who's the light?
Yeah, lights off. The light.
Are you trying to turn that back on? Did you try it? Well, I'll come a little bit closer if that's okay. We're just inquisitive, and you must be inquisitive as us.
Perfect. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
We're gonna walk over here. Maybe you can do that one more time for us.
Yeah, we'll watch from the distance. Can you flicker the light bulb or just turn it off? Thank you.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
And we did laugh about it. It wasn't funny. We didn't feel threatened or anything. But again, I've been doing this for a long time, and this kind of stuff just doesn't happen. And it was quite amazing. After we had left the room and we were discussing what we had just experienced, it really led us to believe the one theory of construction can stir up some type of activity. Again, the house was empty. Construction lights were just in this one room. There were no bad circuits or faulty switches. There was no one in the house. So we had tested that out. And everything was brand new for these construction lights. So we truly believe that that theory of activity can be triggered by construction. And this house was an older house. We really believe that somebody was getting our attention. And again, it wasn't negative in any way. It was just saying, hey, I'm here and I'm going to join this family and they're going to move into my house.
The question that I wanted to know is whether or not they remembered me, and the question that I had asked back in 2008. My name is George Lopez, and I was the founder of the Port Orange Paranormal Society. My paranormal reveal took place in the St. Augustine Old Jail in St. Augustine, Florida. It was in 1891 when Henry Flagler built what would become known as the Old Jail. This facility would not only house inmates, but also the sheriff and his family. According to accounts, the original jail was not only an eyesore, it was within view from one of Flagler's luxurious St. Augustine hotels. Flagler, being the businessman that he was, knew that guests would not want to see a jail while vacationing in the beautiful city of St. Augustine, and that such an event would diminish their experience at his hotel. He was compelled to relocate the jail by constructing a new building that would better resemble the many other magnificent structures in the area. And so, the old jail was built as it stands today. In 2018, in October, I was invited to return to the St. Augustine Old Jail by the curator to try out a particular device that they had purchased, an echo box. I never used it before, and I had brought some other investigators with me as well, because I wanted to try an experiment in something called the collective consciousness, and to see whether or not spirits retain memories, they know what's transpired in the past, and that I had visited there 10 years earlier. Now, 10 years earlier, when I was the founder and lead investigator for the Port Orange Paranormal Society, we captured a very, very unique EVP on our spirit box. After capturing, we were only 8. And playing that for the curator and his staff back in 2008, and their eyes got as big as saucers because there was no one that was familiar or aware of the number of hangings that happened at the St. Augustine Old Jail, which in fact were only 8. So fast forward 10 years later, and I returned to try a different device in this same location. And the question that I wanted to know is whether or not they remembered me and the question that I had asked back in 2008. The clip you're about to see was up in general population. Myself and a group of paranormal investigative friends from Palm Coast, Florida. And you'll hear an audio response to something that I had asked 10 years ago and asked again this same night. There's a question I have to ask. I was here 8 years ago, and there was somebody's voice that I captured, and there was something specific that they said. If what I believe is true about collective consciousness, I want you to repeat back what it is that was said that I captured. Repeat it 3 times, please, over and over. Say it. Oh! Oh my God! Thank you. Why were you on death row? St. Augustine Old Jail. Repeat it over the next 30 seconds. St. Augustine Old Jail. Finish it. Perfect. Death row or from general population. Say either one multiple times. Death row or general population. Repeat it over and over, please, sir.
Death row. You hear that?
Death row. Inmate or guard? Inmate or guard? Repeat again over and over. Inmate or guard? Repeat. Inmate.
Inmate. Yeah. It's pretty clear.
I told you murder.
Well,
That's the question.
how many are here with you? Say how many, give me a number. How many are here with you? Repeat the number.
No?
Yeah.
Repeat it again.
12 men.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, judging by my reaction, how related I was to actually get validation. It was a fantastic experience. Everybody was excited. And I thought, I'm happy. I'm happy with what we captured. Some years ago, somebody asked me what I would want to take with me in the next life. And that was a simple answer, memories. And this event at the St. Augustine Old Jail showed me that not only do you take your memories, but you can make more memories in the afterlife. Now, It's a dark scenario. It's an old jail, and these spirits are still serving out a sentence. But I think it's amazing that they can interact with us, that they do remember us. And I know for us, for the curators, and for the tourists that visit this special place, these spirits will always be remembered.
So, were those clips enough to move the needle on your belief in the paranormal? Or, like most of us, does it just create more questions for you? Ultimately, we may never find the answer, but the search continues.